It's 10 p.m. Do you know what your kids did today?
For your next home, choose one of the Brazos Valley's most tenured builders, Oakwood Custom Homes.
Coming up, police are investigating after a gun was shot in a Bryan home. Plus, what police say you need to know about school zones starting this week. Anne College in Bryan is preparing for a big emergency simulation. Police are investigating an aggravated robbery that happened early this morning after a gun was fired inside a Bryan home. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Clay Falls. Whitney Miller has the night off. Police say a man and woman were inside a home in the 1200 block of California Street when another man walked in with a gun demanding money. According to police, the male victim said he and the suspect struggled over the gun and it fired, striking the suspect. Police say the suspect ran away and that the victims were not injured. Investigators say an hour before they received a call about the robbery, officers had to respond to an area hospital after someone walked in with a gunshot wound. That person was admitted to the hospital and listed in stable condition. No arrests have been made and police believe the incidents are connected. And an update on the story we told you about yesterday on a convenience store robbery in Madisonville. Madisonville police still need help identifying the robbery suspect who they say fired his gun in the store. The crime happened Saturday morning at the Sunny Food Mart in the 800 block of North May Street. Today, Madisonville Police Chief Herbert Gilbert tells KBTX the man did get away with cash. They're still trying to figure out if the gun accidentally discharged during that robbery. We stopped by the store this afternoon and saw that the bullet struck the inside of the cash register. Police ask you to call them if you recognize the suspect. Well, turning to weather, we are in just a really hot stretch, a lot of high heat, a lot of high humidity. What's in store right now, Erica?
Well, unfortunately, I don't know that we'll get the best break from the heat and the humidity. We may have a small window coming up later on this week, but otherwise, you just kind of want to get used to it. Highs today topped off into the triple digits for a lot of folks, 101 officially here in Bryan and College Station, and you can tell that's pretty much the story for a good chunk of the Brazos Valley today. So that makes day number 6, if you are keeping track at home, for 2019 that we have reached the triple digits, 4 days now in our streak of triple digit days. So the heat will extend on, that should say Monday. We've got that heat advisory in place for almost all of the Brazos Valley tomorrow. Again, heated advisories mean those heat index values are going to be pretty high each and every afternoon. We're still sitting pretty toasty tonight. Upper 80s, close to 90 degrees out there. Still feels sticky, almost like 100 degrees out there. And if you are trying to check out the Perseid meteor shower, it is going on tonight. We've got pretty good viewing conditions over across the Brazos Valley. May see a few clouds trying to work back in through the overnight hours. Otherwise, this is where you're going to be waking up to tomorrow morning into the upper 70s. We've got more heat and humidity on the way, but there is a chance for rain. We'll detail more of that out coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Erica. Your health is the most important thing you can have, and one local man shares his story on why he's having to make some drastic changes in order to save his life. News 3's Haley Vrostick explains.
It felt like I was drowning. I couldn't breathe.
Ben Kennedy was on a work trip when he started showing symptoms.
My weight went up about 40 pounds over a week's period. And when I got home, I was scared.
Scared because he looked like this.
That was the first time I had ever really seen what I looked like. Working in the emergency field, I have seen people that were dead that looked better than I did, as far as weight and swelling was. And just to be quite frank with you, it scared me half to death.
They found out he had congestive heart failure. His next step, treatment at Baylor Scott & White Health.
The first night that I was in the hospital, I lost 19 pounds. As it turned out, I wound up losing right at 40 pounds over the period of about probably a week.
He had been carrying about 20 pounds of fluid weight on him for quite some time and just didn't really pay attention to the symptoms. 2 to 3 pound weight gain overnight, 5 pounds in a week, shortness of breath, exhaustion, all these things that after speaking with him, he had been dealing with for quite some time.
After his visit, he was forced to make some changes if he wanted to save his life.
Diet, lifestyle change, taking medications appropriately. He's doing cardiac rehab. He has taken everything that we've told him to do and he is doing it.
Kennedy says life is looking better now, but he works every day to make healthier choices so he can finally go back to doing the things he loves, like spending time with his grandkids.
I'm looking forward to going hunting with them again this fall. Setting up in the deer stand with them, walking around hunting birds, whatever we do. And before I could do it, just not quite as much. So hopefully the health will come back completely and we can get back to a normal life.
In College Station, Haley Vrostick, News 3.
If you'd like to see some ways to check your heart health, we have more details with this story at our web channel, KBTX.com. Well, a big drill is happening at Blinn College this week that will look as realistic as possible. On Wednesday, the Blinn College District Police Department will partner with national, state, and local law enforcement agencies. There, they'll conduct an emergency response exercise at the Bryan campus. More than 200 first responders are expected to be there. Gunfire will also be simulated with blanks. We're told setup for the exercise will start around 7 a.m. The simulation is expected to be dramatic and lifelike with participants there throughout the day. The public is being asked to avoid the area during this day unless you have business at the college. Well, most school districts start school this coming week, meaning the school zone speed limits are back in effect. News 3's Kendall Hogan has more from local police who say they'll be carefully patrolling these zones.
As the school year picks back up, local police say to slow down.
Be aware as school starts for the new year that we may have gotten used to the school zones not being in place over the summer, so give yourself extra time in the mornings to make your morning commute.
Especially near Rock Prairie and Holloman Drive in South College Station, where Riverbend Elementary will open its doors next week.
And so if you're in the area, Holloman Drive South just recently reopened. Rock Prairie, it's a very busy area on the west side of the railroad tracks. Be aware that as the school starts Thursday that the school zone will be in place.
Because on this street, the normal speed limit is 30 miles per hour. But when this light is flashing, it's 25.
Our traffic unit will be working these school zones, as will patrol officers as they have time available. And so they'll be strictly enforcing the school zones, and citations will be issued.
Citations that can cost you more than $300.
It's going to slow things down. Remember to slow down in the area. Pay attention to those signs. They are new. Remember, it's all about the safety of our children.
In College Station, Kendall Hogan, News 3.
Local authorities also want to remind you that school zones are also hands-free zones, and you can be ticketed for even holding a cell phone while driving. And tonight, the Brazos County 4-H Club held their annual banquet. The club decked out the Brazos County Expo Center ballroom for the event. There, they honored their members who excelled in livestock shows this year. Scholarships were also given out to 4 of the members. The Brazos County 4-H Club says the organization is a great way for kids to learn valuable life skills.
Encouragement is always important. You know, you have a kid, if they commit to something, we should be right there 100%, especially if something positive. And I just believe that 4-H opens doors to many, many other opportunities, and this also could help with scholarship.
4-H Club says they're looking forward to the next year and continuing to grow and educate kids in Brazos County. And if you drove by the Queen Theater today, some flashy, older cars may have caught your eye. The Brazos Valley Model A Club rented out the theater today for a private showing of the Ken Burns documentary, Horatio's Drive. The movie is a story about a coast-to-coast drive similar to these cars in 1908. The Queen Theater says events like these help draw the community into the theater.
We try as hard as we can to make the marquee catchy, and we're kind of limited by characters, so anytime we're able to put something physically out there on the streets, like these old cars, it really helps us a lot.
The next showing at the Queen Theater is on Thursday night, where they'll be playing the Alfred Hitchcock film, Notorious. Well, coming up, an escaped inmate has been captured after leading police on an intense manhunt. We'll have that full story. And in sports, fans got to meet the Aggies today at A&M's Football Fan Appreciation Day.
And you read that right. We are talking about rain chances that are headed into the Brazos Valley later on this week. Who gets the rain, and do we get a break from this heat? Those are the big questions we'll be answering right after the break.
News 3 weather from the Pinpoint Forecast team is sponsored by the Bank and Trust. Local bank, local bankers. And now, local weather.
The big week, or the big headline all week long, I should say, has really been the heat. And unfortunately, it is the story for a lot of folks across the U.S. and especially down here towards the south. We've got heat advisories, excessive heat watches, excessive heat warnings in place. And yes, some of those colors are even trying to slip into the Brazos Valley. So a heat advisory is going to be in effect likely for all of the Brazos Valley through tomorrow evening. But notice Milam, Robertson, Leon County, you have that excessive heat watch, which will go into effect at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, last until 7. We've got a different area that's watching all the Brazos Valley, different National Weather Service offices, and their criteria are a little bit different. But the reason why that excessive heat watch is going to be in effect is because heat index values will likely range from about 110 to 115 on Tuesday. Not to mention, that's probably going to be the hottest day that we see all week long. So the heat's only going to build before it gets a little bit better. By Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we may actually start to see those temperatures dip down into the upper 90s, and then high pressure sets back in. Your temperatures start to swing back up towards the triple digits. So yes, we have a chance for rain. It's a small chance, about 30% potential and coverage, and then we're slowly dipping them down as we head into the later part of this next week, but it at least is a rain chance for some folks. So watch what happens. This high pressure system that's been responsible for this dome of heat slowly starts to shift off towards the west. For the next couple of days, things stay pretty quiet. We see a few clouds trying to work into the Brazos Valley, but as far as rain chances go, we stay dry through Tuesday. Watch what happens up towards our north. We start to see a little bit more rain fill in. We've got a boundary that starts to slip a little bit further to the south, and it will likely generate at least some scattered showers and storms here across the Brazos Valley Wednesday as well as into your Thursday. So there is at least some hope that we could get a few drops of rain trying to work through the Brazos Valley. How much rain will it total to is another story. I think if you're able to get multiple rounds of rain, close to a half inch will be possible. Some folks going to stay completely dry, and others could pick up another quick couple tenths of an inch. But for now, things are pretty quiet. All the rain sits off towards the north and the west. That eventually is going to be our system that heads our way. But if you can bear the heat for the evening hours and you can step outside, the Perseid meteor shower peaks not only tonight but into tomorrow night as well. And you could see up to 50 meteors per hour. The difference is that we might be fighting at least a little bit of moonlight. So you always want to find that dark place away from city lights and give your eyes a little bit of time to adjust. If you're a dedicated sky gazer, well, you might want to wait until 4 o'clock in the morning, at least this morning. You may have about an hour and a half where you won't be fighting that moonlight as the moon starts to set and we're just ahead of twilight. So good news is for viewing both tonight as well as into tomorrow night, skies should be pretty clear. We may have a few clouds that try and work back in early tomorrow morning, but otherwise, things should be pretty good. Just give yourself a little bit of time if you are going to step out. And if you are stepping out, notice your temperatures still into the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees. It feels hot, it feels muggy. There is not much of a breeze, so taking the bug spray out there, having a little bit of water on hand, not bad ideas. Temperatures area-wide, upper 80s, close to 90 degrees. Again, mentioned, still feels sticky. Some folks still feeling close to 100 degrees at 10 o'clock this evening. We should eventually see those temperatures dip down into the upper 70s, at least briefly tomorrow morning. Then the clouds clear on out, the sun comes back up, and we are talking about temperatures getting close to 90 degrees, even 100 is going to be possible as we head into the afternoon hours. Keep in mind, heat index still going to be the story tomorrow as well as into your Tuesday. We still have those heat advisories in place. And again, that excessive heat watch goes into effect for Milam, Robertson, Leon County Tuesday afternoon. I really think that's going to be the worst of the heat. So if you really don't have to plan a whole lot of activities outside Tuesday, maybe try and work around it a little bit. We've got some at least rain chances working our way for the second half of this week, and that may help to cool us down just a bit.
All right, exciting on the meteor shower too.
It is, yep.
I saw Shooting Star last night, so it's always neat to see what's going on up there.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much, Erica. Well, coming up, how police were able to catch this man after he escaped from prison. Plus, we'll let you know who dominated at the box office this weekend.
Hometown Heroes 2019 is presented by Buddy's Appliance and FedStar Credit Union.
Authorities say a convict who escaped from a Tennessee prison 5 days ago on a tractor was captured today. As Danya Backus reports, Curtis Ray Watson is suspected of killing a corrections employee just before his escape.
An escaped prisoner suspected of killing a Tennessee Department of Correction employee was caught just hours after a confirmed sighting Sunday morning.
It is a good day because Curtis Watson is in custody.
In surveillance video, 44-year-old fugitive Curtis Ray Watson is dressed in camouflage and carrying a backpack. He opens a refrigerator on the Henning, Tennessee property of a man who alerted authorities.
When he finally backed out of here, closed his door, my wife really recognized him. So that's him. He got that goatee.
Within 30 minutes, hundreds of law enforcement was on scene and in that area. TBI spotted Watson coming out of a soybean field. Watson surrendered without incident.
Watson had been on the run since Wednesday when he escaped from the nearby West Tennessee State Penitentiary on a prison tractor while on lawn mowing duty. That morning, an intense manhunt was launched after the body of Deborah Johnson was found by her co-workers in her house on prison grounds. Officials say a cord was wrapped around the 64-year-old's neck and she had been sexually assaulted. Watson was discovered missing hours after he was seen near Johnson's house. Rewards totaling nearly $60,000 were offered for information leading to Watson's arrest.
He was relieved to be over with his run.
On Thursday, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation secured warrants against Watson for charges including first-degree murder. Danya Backus, CBS News.
Watson was serving a 15-year sentence after pleading guilty to the aggravated kidnapping of his wife.
Coming up next in sports, it was Fan Appreciation Day for the Aggie football team with an open practice at Kyle Field. And we continue our Hometown Heroes series with a look at both Snook and Somerville football teams.
Sports is sponsored by Allen Honda, corner of Southwest Parkway and Highway 6. Allen's got your Honda. From the KBTX Sports Center, News 3 Sports starts now.
It's day 10 of fall camp for the Aggies, and today things were a little different. They were back at Kyle Field, and fans got their first look at the 2019 squad.
Welcome to Fan Day. You can come on in and go get in line.
It was the annual Fan Appreciation Day, and they came out in a big way, getting to beat the heat inside the Gilliam Indoor Track Stadium, saying hi to the players and Coach Fisher, and grabbing some autographs while they were at it. The day finished up at Kyle Field. The gates were open to the public for the first time since the spring game. Jimbo says they've had a good week of camp and are working on being a more physical team. Days like this one are enjoyable for the whole team, especially for players that are from the Brazos Valley.
Growing up around here, real thankful to be around, be here, and get the opportunities given to me to play. And it's really great to see everybody come up on Fan Day and say hi. And
it's amazing, man, to still have those people that were around you and followed you in high school, still come out and still show their support. So it's definitely amazing. I thank all the fans, and I thank everybody, who's stuck around and been here through it all.
The next time fans will get to see the Aggies in person is on August 29th against Texas State.
Go, 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 go.
We continue our Hometown Heroes tonight with Somerville. The Yewas have their 7th head coach in 7 years. As Cal Netherland takes over the program this season, Netherland spent the past 5 years at San Antonio Southwest High School. His focus now is to continue gaining the kids' trust and turning this program around. The Yewas went 1-9 last year and only made the playoffs once in the past decade, but they're optimistic now under Netherland's leadership.
This head coach, because we've had a lot, but I feel this one, he's bringing positivity. He's pumping our heads up a lot. I think that's what everybody else needed on the team. So I feel like if we all have the confidence and positivity, and we actually all want it, I feel like the season will have a better outcome than last year.
His positivity has actually worn off on all of us. We respect him, not as a coach, but as a dad.
To be honest, I have high expectations. I was a little leery at first, because of the records of the past. But then when I saw the talent the kids have, and we're not very deep, but the athletes are here, and it's my job to get them ready, and so I expect good things.
Somerville kicks off their season August 30th at home against Iola. The Snook Blue Jays also begin a new era with a new head coach. Boone Patterson replaces Chad Leckler, who was with the Blue Jays for 4 seasons. Snook went 9-3 last year and made it to the area round of the playoffs for the second time in the past 3 years. The Blue Jays are excited with how things are going so far with their new head coach. Patterson says he wants to continue to build on the foundation that was already in place.
We're trying to do everything a little faster, more aggressive. We've always had the strength and the size in Snook, and there's the natural speed, and we're just trying to do everything we do at a higher level, a little faster.
Hard work, dedication, just spending the hours in the weight room. Speed is a big thing that we work on.
A little bit different experience, a little different look on the football field, a little different training. It's all just a little bit different.
It's been good. He's a really good dude, and I feel like he's going to do a lot of great things here.
The Blue Jays host Granger in their season opener on August 30th. The Brazos Valley Bombers tonight in Game 2 of their playoff series with Acadiana. They're currently in extra innings with the Cane Cutters, tied at 4. If the Bombers win, they advance. Now, if not, Game 3 will be back at home tomorrow. The Pan American Games wrapped up today. Aggie Camila Gomez represented Colombia in the volleyball gold medal match. They fell to the Dominican Republic to earn a silver medal. Gomez was Colombia's libero throughout the Pan Am Games, and she finished with the most digs in the tournament. Gomez now returns to A&M for her final collegiate season. Now the Aggies medal count at the Pan American Games, 6 gold medals, 5 silver, 5 bronze, so pretty well represented.
Very good showing from them, and a lot of talented high school football teams. Excited to see them play in the next couple of weeks. It's
right
just
around
about here.
Yep, it is just about here.
Thanks very much, Tyler. Coming up, we'll have another update on the weather, but first, a look outside from our Live Eye Network. Here's Texas A&M University. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham hit theaters this weekend in a Fast and Furious franchise spinoff. Rick Damagella tells us how Hobbs and Shaw did at the box office.
Hey, Randy. Well, so you still direct, huh? Still here.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood dropped from 3rd down to 5th on ticket sales of $11.6 million.
I'm an explorer, like you. Oh, honey, you have the whole world to explore.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold dug up $17 million in box office treasure, good enough for a 4th place debut, while The Lion King stepped back from 2nd to 3rd place with $20 million.
I'm afraid that we woke something up.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark performed at the high end of pundits' predictions, opening in 2nd with $20.8 million. Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw held 1st place for a 2nd weekend, racing off with $25.4 million, bringing the movie past the $100 million milestone at the domestic box office. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
It's interesting. I didn't know there's that many Fast and Furious
didn't
movies,
either.
so I've only seen the first couple.
Well, they keep making money, so I guess that's why they keep making them.
Right.
Profitable. Yeah, I'll have to maybe go see this one. Some of those other Lion King I really want to see.
Yep, same. And I mean, it's not a bad week if you want to go out and see some of these movies because it's just going to be hot. That's kind of the big story. But if you are looking for a little treat in the nighttime sky, the Perseid meteor shower peaks not only tonight but tomorrow as well. We just have a few clouds out there. Temperatures will eventually be down into the upper 70s overnight tonight, and then we're back into the triple digits tomorrow. Pretty much area-wide. Heat advisory is going to be in effect tomorrow, likely into your Tuesday as well. We may get that break from the heat, though, if we can work in some rain chances later on.
We'll keep in touch on it. Thank you very much, Erica. That's all our time. Join us tomorrow on Brazos Valley This Morning or anytime on our web channel, KBTX.com.